One of the strongest devil fruits that everyone forgets about is Viola. She ate the Giro Giro no Mi, which is a paramecia type devil fruit that gives her the ability to see through solid objects over vast distances. But she can't only just see through objects, she can see into people's minds and memories. That's what makes this devil fruit really powerful. She essentially has an all-seeing eye, and as long as she's using her ability, you will never be able to deceive her, because she can literally see what's going on in your mind. So if you're lying, she knows. Like I said, it's a very strong power that could come into play in the future, whether that's helping Luffy out for some reason, or Blackbeard decides that he needs this devil fruit power. Do you think Garp knew from the start that Luffy's devil fruit was something bigger than just rubber? Because I personally think this theory could be true. During the reverie, when another Vice Admiral tells Garp that Luffy's taking on Kaido and Big Mom, he just burst out laughing, and when talking about Luffy, Garp says that he's not done yet, which makes me believe that Garp has known all along what devil fruit Luffy ate, and maybe he's been keeping it a secret all this time. I just watched the 4th One Piece movie, and oh my goodness, this one was great. It has a very unique storyline and adventure with the crew, and it takes place after Alabasta because Robin is now with the gang. It starts off on this cool island where we go through a secret tunnel to a big cavern full of pirates, and we learn about this race where the Straw Hats can win 300 million berries. And from there, the plot continues to grow. We learn about the main villain, Gasparde, who has a Logia type devil fruit of candy syrup, and I will say there was a plot twist in this movie that I didn't quite expect, which overall made the story a lot better and makes the movie a really fun watch. There is a lot of dialogue and it takes a while to get to the action, but if you can handle that, you're gonna like this movie. And I'm personally gonna rate it the best out of the first 4 movies with an 8 out of 10. Frankie is a cyborg, and like any mechanical machine, he has to be fueled by something, and in One Piece, he's fueled by cola. But that made me wonder just how much soda is he drinking on a daily basis? It's kind of a hard question to answer because the whole powered by cola thing isn't even mentioned post time skip at all, but pre time skip we know his refrigerator stomach can hold 3 bottles or 6 liters of cola. This is what he uses to power attacks, and the more cola he has, the stronger he can be. But if I had to take a guess, I would think he has to switch his cola out 2 to 3 times a day, which would mean if he still only runs off of 3 bottles, he would have anywhere from 6 to 9 bottles of Coke per day, which is a ton of Coke in the real world. One of the weirdest devil fruits in One Piece is the Hoya Hoya no Mi, and not because of its name, but because of what the power actually is. This is Daifuku's devil fruit, a member of the Big Mom Pirates, and it allows him to summon a genie from his body, but the only way he can summon this genie is by rubbing his belly. So that's what makes this devil fruit pretty weird. To use his power, Daifuku just has to stand awkwardly in the corner rubbing his belly so his genie can do all the fighting. This devil fruit is just more uncomfortable than anything. Daifuku's just gonna be standing off to the side with a weird little smile touching himself, so that's why I think the Hoya Hoya no Mi is weird. Did you know Enel is not only still alive, but he actually made it to the moon? To anime only fans, this may come as a surprise, but if you read the manga, you know this information. That's because there are 38 different cover stories around Enel and his adventures on the moon. These were canon events that were never adapted into the anime, so anime only fans have no idea what went on. And I can't explain everything in this video, but he essentially just becomes the new god on the moon. However, since we do know a lot of Enel's story after Skypiea, many One Piece fans believe he's gonna come back to the story, and there are huge theories surrounding that, which I did a full in-depth video on, but I honestly do hope we see Enel again. How rare are devil fruits in One Piece? We see so many of them in the story that I think as viewers we sometimes forget just how uncommon they are, but to find out exactly how rare they are, we also need to figure out how many people are in the One Piece world, which nobody knows that answer. And 10 years ago, a person on the One Piece Reddit posted this. It's a full breakdown that gives a rough estimate of the actual population of the One Piece world, and this person's estimation of the population of One Piece included the 4 blue seas and the Grand Line, which came out to a total of 981 million, which you can probably round up to 1 billion, including the population of the people in the Red Line. So if you take 1 billion by the 207 total devil fruits we've seen so far in One Piece, only 0.0000207% of people have devil fruit powers. It's a rough estimate, but that is extremely rare. Luffy and Who's Who having a secret connection to each other was not on my Wano bingo card, and Who's Who's story of how he's connected to Luffy is really interesting to me. If you don't remember, before he was a part of Kaido's crew, he was a member of CP9, and 13 years ago he was tasked to escort a government ship holding the Gomu Gomu no Mi, which was then stolen by the red-haired pirates and soon after eaten by Luffy. So in a weird butterfly effect, Who's Who is the reason Luffy ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi, and I was completely caught off guard by this information. This gives Who's Who a much bigger role than I initially expected him to have. Filler devil fruits in One Piece are always fun because they are the most random powers, and one of them that I want to talk about today is Gasparde from One Piece Movie 4. He's a former marine officer that turned to a pirate and ate the Ame Ame no Mi. This is a peculiar Logia type devil fruit that gives him the ability to turn into candy syrup. He's able to control this candy in both liquid and solid form, which makes it eerily similar to another devil fruit in One Piece, Parospero's Pero no Mi, the candy devil fruit. It's funny because their powers are essentially the same, but Gasparde is a Logia and Perospero is a Paramecia. These are the 5 shortest arcs in One Piece. At number 5, we have Return to Sabaody at just 6 episodes. I did not realize this arc was so short. At number 4, one of the earliest arcs in One Piece, Orangetown, with 5 episodes. At number 3, we have Whiskey Peak with 4 episodes. This is a very underrated arc in my opinion. It's pretty fun to watch. At number 2 is Romance Dawn with just 3 episodes. This marks the start of Luffy's journey. And then number 1, the One Piece arc with the fewest episodes, is Reverse Mountain with just 2 episodes. 4Kids One Piece made a lot of changes to the show, especially with the Straw Hats. Zoro's name was changed to Zolo. Sanji was no longer an addicted smoker and instead a fiend for lollipops. He also had the worst voice actor I've ever heard.
Hey, where's Nami's hot tub at?
But it wasn't just Sanji's voice actor, Chopper's was bad too.
Hey, I'm running out of hole pluggers!
Like, that's not Tony Chopper, that's just Tony. The 4Kids dub is like a fever dream, man. I cannot believe it's a real thing. I watched the 5th One Piece movie, so you don't have to. This one is called The Cursed Holy Sword and is a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb. This movie's pretty cool. The main plot is interesting, and this is where the famous Zoro observation hockey clip comes from, of him sleeping on the Going Merry and dodging this dagger. And this movie is heavily revolved around Zoro. We meet his childhood friend named Saga, and Zoro actually leaves the Straw Hats to join Saga, which later causes him to 1v1 Sanji, and he no-diff Sanji, literally one-shotted him. Saga has this sword called the 7-Star Sword, and this sword possesses his body, and he fights everybody to try and resurrect the sword's will. This is all pretty cool and fun to watch, but the movie's pacing is so slow. You hardly get any action until the last 20 minutes of this hour-and-a-half long movie. And because of that, I don't want to give it a great rating, but it's not the worst out of the first 5 movies, so because of that, it's gonna get a 7.1 out of 10. A weirdly interesting devil fruit is the Kiri no Mi, or known in English as the Cream fruit. This is a Paramecia type devil fruit that allows the user to create endless amounts of cream, so he just creams everywhere. The sugar inside of this cream is able to inflict 2nd or 3rd degree burns, which is a very interesting ability for this devil fruit to have, and we see Luffy get burned by this cream. Overall, the cream devil fruit seems pretty normal, but something makes me feel uneasy about it. I don't know what though. The One Piece fan letter is the greatest piece of One Piece content I have ever watched. I think it resonates with me personally because I always love to see different perspectives of things, and in this we get to see the perspective of those 2 Marine brothers at Marineford, and that's something I've always wondered about. What does a normal person think of all these crazy powerful beings with these devil fruits? And getting to see that was awesome. You had those amazing shots of Kizaru, as well as that super quick scene with Crocodile and Mihawk. I personally just think this stuff is super interesting. This episode also made me understand how Usopp and Nami feel every time they fight someone strong. A devil fruit awakening is the peak form of that power, and for many devil fruit users, it takes decades to reach that point of awakening. However, we have seen some abnormally fast awakenings in One Piece, and today I'm going to talk about the fastest awakening, and that title goes to Kaku. In just 2 years of having the Giraffe Zoan devil fruit, Kaku awakened his power, which is very impressive. 2 years is almost unheard of. Doflamingo had his devil fruit power for over 30 years, and he just awakened it in Dressrosa. So Kaku awakening his power in 2 years is a big feat. Did you notice that Robin understands Luffy's thinking better than anyone else in One Piece? She always seems to be able to read him perfectly, and the best example I can give is on Zoe when Luffy's trying to remember who Marco is. After watching Luffy struggle for a few seconds, she just reminds him, hey, it's the guy with the pineapple head, and it clicked in Luffy's brain. He remembered instantly. And there's a bunch of other small moments in the story just like this one. Sanji on a solo mission is a different character. If Luffy sent him to find the One Piece right now, I think he could genuinely find it, because for whatever reason, when Sanji's solo, he cooks, like pre-time skip with Mr. Prince, or in Water 7 in the classic bingo moment. Even Whole Cake Island was kind of a solo mission for him. Bro always figures things out and gets things done. Maybe the rest of the crew is just a distraction to him, and he needs to be sent off on his own more often. Here are the 5 longest arcs in One Piece. Tied for 5th with 46 episodes are the Enies Lobby arc and the Punk Hazard arc. Then in 4th place with 51 episodes is the Fishman Island arc. I'd be alright if they cut that down to 20. In 3rd place we have Whole Cake Island with 95 episodes. 50 of those are Luffy versus Katakuri. Then in 2nd is Dressrosa with 118 episodes. And in 1st place with 191 episodes, the longest arc in One Piece is the Wano Country arc.